Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Romario, Webster here, and Arsenal have beaten Chelsea 3-2 in the first leg of the Carabao Cup at Stamford Bridge. Big victory. Could have been bigger, but we'll take the 3-2 result. We'll take it. We were 3-1 up at one point. Let Chelsea get a second. Garnacho getting 2 goals. Viktor Gyokeres on the score sheet, getting an assist for Zubimendi as well. But all of that after Ben White opened the scoring. So let's start there with Ben White getting the header, another set piece again. Ole, ole. Listen, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at Arsenal scoring from set pieces. We've been speaking about it all season, probably since last season as well. It's one of our strengths, so why not use it? You have to utilize the things you're good at. More than just Gabriel can score from corners. Gyökeres has scored this season from a set piece. Timber, Calafiori, and now Ben White's on the list. So it was a good header, and I was happy for Ben White, especially because I think he's had a tough year or so with Timber emerging as our sort of number one right back. You don't see as much of Ben White as you do. I think if we go on to win the Premier League or Champions League this season, no one deserves it as much as Ben White. I think similarly to Gabriel, he's sort of been there from the early days, and yeah, I'm so happy for him that he's still in and around the team and contributing. A key player. He also gets the assist for Viktor Gyokeres' goal in the second half, just after half time. And at that point, you're thinking, we're in a good place here. Gyokeres has scored. We'll talk a bit more about him, but the assist from Ben White. And I think what Ben White offers, which Timber doesn't necessarily, is that offensive threat. I think Ben White's a little bit better than Timber going forward. Just a little bit. Timber's very good defensively. I don't think there's much between them defensively. I think Timber's probably a little bit more solid, but Ben White's equally is reliable. But going forward, for me, Ben White is better. He is his crossing's a bit more efficient. His overlapping, his timing of it is perfect, and you see that for the Viktor Gyokeres goal. Robert Sanchez, poor from him in goal. I'll be honest. I'm not really sure what Chelsea managers seeing Robert Sanchez, because Pochettino started him, Maresca started him, and now Rafinha starting him. So he must be doing something right in training. But it just slips through his hands, and Gyökeres is on hand to tap it in. And for me, I was really happy for Gyökeres because he's been getting a lot of stick, and not just off rival fans, off Arsenal fans as well. A lot of our own fan base have been criticising him, saying we need to sell him in the summer. And I think that just sort of sums up the modern football fan. Everyone's got such a lack of patience, and I think you just got to give Gyökeres a chance. Someone with his goal scoring record, for me, it's hard to write him off so soon. Give him a chance. And his goal wasn't so much why I think we should give him a chance. We'll move ahead a bit. But the third goal we scored, Zubimendi's goal, Gyökeres gets the pass. I think it was from Saka inside the box, controls it well, takes the touch, gives it to Zubimendi inside the box. Zubimendi feints, great composure, sits about 2 defenders down, and fires it home with his weaker left foot. But Viktor Gyokeres' role in that goal is something that impressed me more than his goal tonight, because I know he can be in the right position on hand to bury the chance right in front of goal. You're not going to miss. But what I think we need to see more of from Gyökeres is link-up play, similar to what Havertz can do, Gabriel Jesus is good at. And that's what we saw in that goal. I think it's his first assist for Arsenal. I can't remember him getting another assist. So it shows to me that he's growing. I do think Chelsea have a defence that give you time, space, and chances. So I think it's an opposition that Gyökeres suits to play against. But fair play to him. You have to go out and do it. He got a goal, got an assist, and he's contributed to 2 out of the 3 of our goals tonight, which has turned out to be key. Now, let's sort of talk about the goals Chelsea scored, both Garnacho, and both are sort of off the run of play. If I'm honest, the first Garnacho goal comes about 10 minutes after we take a 2-goal lead. Once again, not the most ideal, but for me, the second goal he scores is what really frustrated me. Was we just took a 3-1 lead. You're looking at the second leg thinking, look, we can chill. We can relax. The job's done. The boys have done the work in the first leg. But Garnacho scoring, he scored from a corner. The ball sort of bubbled out to him. Kepa was nowhere to be seen. And Garnacho finishes it well. Fair play to Garnacho. I'm not his biggest fan, but he gets 2 goals. But from an Arsenal perspective, defensively, it just feels like we're better than that. And I know we're better than that. And I don't really think you can blame anyone. The goals are quite, you know, you're not really going to stop them. They're sort of rebound goals. You've got to almost praise Garnacho more than criticize the defense for his positioning. So it's annoying going into the second leg knowing that we've let Chelsea get 2 goals back. So it is 3-2. I'm not sure if away goals count. I'm pretty sure they don't in this competition. I will just search that quickly. I'm pretty sure it doesn't count. Yeah, so the away goal rule was scrapped in 2018-19. I didn't think they used it still. So yeah, there's no away goal rule, which is a bit annoying because those 3 goals would have helped us obviously a lot more than Chelsea. I can't see them scoring 3 at the Emirates. But I'm still confident. I think we'll get through. Um, I think it's a tournament we haven't won since before Arsene Wenger, which is insane when you think about it. We haven't won it since before I was born, which is mad. Um, so I do want to win this trophy, and I don't think it will come at a detriment to the other competitions. We've got Nottingham Forest on the weekend, and I think we can still put out a competitive team. Defensively, I'm a little bit worried. Calafiori's out, and Capier's still out. Mascara won't be back until the end of January, it's looking like. And I think, am I missing? No, there's Lewis Skelly, of course, but Timber started tonight at left back instead of him. So 3 of our centre backs slash left 2 left backs and a right back are out, which isn't ideal. We know Ben White and Timber have had injury problems. Gabriel's had hamstring issues. Even Saliba has missed games for injury this season. So hopefully we're not stressed too much defensively going into the weekend. But I think the Carabao Cup is important to get that under your belt. So a lot of people talk about Man City, Pep Guardiola, Jose Mourinho in the past, even Sir Alex have used the League Cup as a springboard to go on to the rest of the season and win the league. I want to do some more research into that and how many times the Premier League champions have won the League Cup, because I'm not sure how true that is, but it can't do any harm, right? It can't do any harm winning a cup, going into a title run in. I think it will probably only benefit the boys. They need to win silverware together. A lot of the players in this group weren't part of that FA Cup team that beat Chelsea all those years ago. So I do think there's a job to do here, and the job is go on and win the final. Now, let's say we do get through. It's looking like we'll play Man City in the final. They beat Newcastle 2-0 last night. Anton Semenyo scoring, Shirky scoring. They look dangerous. I'm such a big fan of Shirky. Honestly, when he comes off the bench, he links up with Semenyo, Ryan Aït-Nouri. He's just back from AFCON, and then he's the way he hits the ball is so clean. Everything he does is clean, to be honest. And Semenyo's hit the ground running. Should have had your second goal last night. It got ruled out for a dodgy offside call. Offside call, by the way, that we got away with tonight, and maybe the officials are thinking back to the criticism that the officials last night received, because it was essentially the same situation. Haaland's blocking a Newcastle defender. I believe it was Gyokeres blocking Achimpong on the line for Chelsea, and then the ball goes in. So it's the same situation. We got the goal, Man City didn't. But it's looking like Man City in the final. And if I'm not mistaken, our last League Cup final appearance was against Man City, I believe, in 27-18 season, I want to say, Arsene Wenger's last year. And we lost 3-0. We got peppered. I don't think we ever had a chance. Off memory, I'm pretty sure Aguero opened scoring. Edison literally just hit the ball straight down the middle of the pitch, and Aguero, I think, lobbed Petr Cech and goal. So that was tough. That was tough. And I remember we played them in the league a few days later, and they whooped us 3-0 again. Gary Neville was doing my nutting on commentary, but I get it. We were poor back then. We were sort of known as the banter club, and things have changed. A lot's changed since that last final. And I think it's a huge opportunity for the club, for the boys, for Mikel Arteta to play Man City. I want Man City in the League Cup final. I know Newcastle are the holders, and it would be poetic to beat the holders of the competition. Shouts out Macclesfield FC knocking Crystal Palace at the FA Cup. But I just think it would be good to play Man City. Have no anyone saying, oh, well, you played Newcastle, of course you was going to win. Like, I want to play one of the toughest teams, arguably the second best team this season, if you go off the league table. So bring Man City on, man. But there is a job to do. There is a job to do with Chelsea. I don't think it's for another 3 weeks because of the Champions League football and the FA Cup and stuff like that. So we don't meet Chelsea again at the Emirates until, I think, the second or first week of February. So we've got some time, but I'm impressed, really impressed with Viktor Gyokeres. Big him up. I think it's so hard being a football player in the modern day in terms of criticism. I think they get criticised more than ever. Everyone's got an opinion. I'm sat here on my own little YouTube channel giving my opinion. You critique constantly, day in, day out, whether it's by big outlets or smaller outlets. And for me, Gyökeres has shown the mental fortitude. I watched his post-fight interview with Ben White, and he does look a bit nervous sometimes. I don't think he's exuding confidence how he was in Portugal, and it's natural. He's a goal scorer. If you're not scoring, you're not going to feel confident. But for me tonight, Gyökeres getting a goal, getting an assist, it's huge. I think it'll do his confidence wonders. And yeah, hopefully Nottingham Forest on the weekend. He scored against Nottingham Forest earlier on in the season. I'll never forget Calafiori to Eze across. Gyökeres taps it in. So hopefully this is the start of a Gyökeres purple patch, because I would want nothing more, to be honest. I really want Gyökeres to do well. I think he's a class striker. And yeah, let's see what he does. Chelsea, a little word on Chelsea. Liam Rosenier, I think he's going to be a good manager if he gets the time. I think he needs the time, but he also needs the respect of the players. And I think the players do like him. I think they like him. I do worry it might be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer vibes, where they like him, but he just doesn't get him over the line. So they'll have good games, good performances, but it might not amount to anything. Similar to Poch at Chelsea, similar to Poch at Tottenham. So let's see. But from what I saw, Chelsea are in good hands. I actually like Liam Rosenier, young manager. He come from Strasbourg, so I followed him a little bit over in the French league. I like French football. I think you get a lot of good young players there. A few of the players Rosenier was coaching last year were at clubs like Sunderland. I'm pretty sure Everton, or it might be Brighton. So I know Sunderland have Siddiqui, I believe, from the French league. So there's a lot of young players that come from there. Chelsea are going to sign Strasbourg striker Omega in the summer. So yeah, he's done a decent job over there, but this is a different kettle of fish to Premier League. It's different. The levels are higher. It'll be interesting to see how he deals with the pressure. The press conferences, he seems to love chatting to the media. But it's little things at 3-1. The Arsenal fans are chanting, "You're getting sacked in the morning." I love all of that. But it'll be interesting to see how Rosenier deals with it. He's obviously grown up and he's from England, so he's going to be used to it. He's played football in the Championship, in the Premier League. He gets it. He understands English football culture. And I think he'll be a good fit. Let's see. Hopefully not a good fit in the second leg. But we have got a 3-2 advantage going into the second leg. Big up Viktor Gyokeres, my boy. Yeah, who give us the opportunity to do the celebration. That's all I need. That's all I want. Not much more, and definitely not much less. But that's it for me. I think I'm going live with Deluded Gooner tomorrow, so go over to CJ's channel, Deluded Gooner. Catch me there live talking about the game, looking ahead to the game at the weekend. But that's it for me. Leave me a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, and I'll see you next time. Peace!